Welcome back to Western Australia. I am currently on a trip with the Patrick Wave team who are testing the 2027 Wave prototypes. I am here to document the trip and film everything that's going on to make a documentary about Patrick's testing and development process. Usually I sail speed and slalom, so this trip gives me the chance to get into waves a bit as well. The first week we spent in Margaret River, but now it was time to head north to probably one of the most popular spots in Western Australia, Coronation Beach in Geraldton. Welcome back, guys. We made it to Coronation here in Geraldton. Super tired because we drove from 4 this morning, and distances in Australia are actually insane. It's been a 12-hour drive just to get here. And yeah, today I want to test for the first time the free wave board, the new one by Patrick. I was the last days on the X Cross and in Margaret River. It felt a bit, like it wasn't really turning on the wave because it's not a board made for waves. So yeah, today I want to try to get the turns a bit down. But this beach is much different from Margaret because Margaret is more like a real wave, and here it's more about jumping. Some good ramps, so yeah, as you can tell, I'm really tired, but I just want to get out, go for a sail, have some fun on the first day, and then tomorrow properly tune in here. There's some clouds out, so I'm thinking to go on a 5.0, but maybe if the clouds disappear, we can go a bit smaller. But let me show you around, and then we head out to the first session here in Geraldton Coronation. I'm a bit afraid, all this is full of snakes, and so yeah, I don't want to step too close here. You can see Coronation Beach. Sorry, I'm not sounding that energetic. I'm just a bit tired, but I think sailing will get me stoked again. What is it here? Speed limit, vehicles, no dumping. It's a campground. Then we're here on the kids camping. I cannot show you all the new boards, only from afar. But yeah, some surfers out, some ramps there. It's looking good. So that's the board, the free wave. I put 3 fins in, absolutely no idea what's the right setup. I'm starting with a 24 as the main fin, and then for the side fins I went with 2 9s, so it's going to be interesting how that feels. So I decided to rig the 5.0 5 wave, so that's kind of the more like free-ridey sail. Should be pretty good for these conditions. Maybe it's picking up later, then we go on a smaller one. Patrick is rigging another 5 wave 5.0 prototype, so maybe we're going to switch in between the sessions, but for now I'm just going to head out with the Insta360. Let's go. Coronation is a super fun spot. On the way out you have ramp after ramp. You can just jump like 3 to 5 times on every run with perfect ramps. My jumping, however, does need a lot of work. It's actually the first time I have sailed a spot where the ramps are lining up as nicely as they do here. I was talking a bit with Patrick after the session because I had 2 issues on my jumps. First, I felt like I was just instantly falling out of the sky instead of like flying. And the second thing I noticed is that I almost never made the landing, as the board always slid away from me on the landing. Patrick explained to me that I need to do 2 things. I need to tuck my back foot under my butt during the flight and then extend it again while landing. The other thing is that I need to use my sail more while in the air. I basically didn't pull at all with my backhand, and I need to have some pressure on my backhand to help me stay in the air longer and kind of float more and have this hang time. Actually, now that I'm wave sailing a bit, I kind of have this goal in my head that I want to learn the forward loop this year. So improving my jumping is the first step for me to get there. In any case, the free wave board felt really nice for these kind of onshore windsurfing conditions, as it gave me a lot of power going out, allowing me to jump a bit higher. But I was struggling a lot with getting some nice turns in, as it was so onshore that I kept losing power on my bottom turns and I felt I could barely turn without dropping off the swell. It was also super difficult for me to read the waves, as the waves kind of stood up one moment and then disappeared under me again the next moment. However, this spot is just so much fun. It felt like a skate park for the windsurf gear, so I can only highly recommend it to anyone who is visiting Western Australia. Especially if your level in waves is not very high yet like my own, because here you can actually kind of choose the size of the wave you want to have by how far you go out. If you stay closer to shore, you have smaller waves, and the further out you go, the bigger they get. So if you stay inside, you really have only very little swell. I hope you enjoyed this episode. In the next video we're going to head up north to a secret down the line spot where I will try out a real quad wave board for the first time. See you next time.